But it's Joseph Armendariz here for Zenny62. I'm right outside Dodger Stadium. As you can see in front of me is downtown Los Angeles. If I could zoom in a little bit. Now, obviously, I'm not here for a baseball game. Last week I wasn't feeling too well and I went to the emergency room, and of course no one was able to give me the virus test. I was able, through the city of LA, register to take the coronavirus test, and one of the testing sites is here outside of Dodger Stadium. It's on Stadium Way. There's a training facility that was it's an armory right out off of Dodger Stadium that was later on, after World War II, converted for multi-use purposes. And what I am going to do is start driving towards Stadium Way, and hopefully we'll see what the test site is looking like. Here is the famous 110 freeway. And here is Stadium Way. As you can see, there's already a line, wow, for testing. And I guess I just have to get behind here and see what happens. Usually there's lines like this on both sides during opening day. By 10 o'clock you have lines this way to get into Dodger Stadium. For years I previously had season tickets. The last couple years, prior, because of my medical situation and finances, I wasn't able to do it. And but there's multi points of interest where you can go in. When we're headed this way towards Stadium Way, this is the main entrance. This is the entrance where you see in films and everything with the huge Dodger Stadium sign, and that's the direction we're heading. Obviously we're not going to the stadium, but moving the camera off to your right through those trees, right behind those trees is the Armory building, and that's where I'm assuming the testing site is, based on this line here. And so we'll see what happens. The city of LA had a questionnaire on the website that you had to fill out, and through those questions that they asked you, that qualified you or disqualified you to take the test right away. And I was able to get a test for today. The time slot they gave me is between 12 and 1 p.m. So it's a little bit after 12 now. And as you can see, there's a huge line. From where I am at to the Armory is probably about 50 yards. And from the Armory to Dodger Stadium is probably another 50. So we're basically probably, you know what, I take that back. It's probably closer to 2 football field lengths from our location. Concerning what's going on, it's actually not that bad. And if you can see through the sign now, you could see, let me see if I zoom in, is the Los Angeles City Fire Department Frank Hopkins Memorial Training Center. And that's exactly where they're having the testing sites. So like South Korea, they're actually doing drive-through testing, and it's going to be interesting. Of course, the test, from what I understand, is involved in two parts. One, a swab to your nose, but also a swab inside your mouth. I'm not sure how deep they go inside your mouth. I know with your nose, they go in pretty deep. So while we're waiting, it's a cloudy day today in LA. What's interesting about this part of Los Angeles is that historically it's been utilized over the years many times for different purposes. Even though it's a beautiful stadium, the surrounding areas is not that great a shape. It seems not too well kept. It's a typical urban environment area. I will say that they've upkept the stadium environment pretty well, and they refurbished it several times, spending hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to do that, which always begs the question, why not fix your surroundings or your neighborhood? Because it's something that can be utilized. It's not filthy, let me put it to you that way, but it is old and it shows its wear outside Dodger Stadium. This location where I'm shooting, obviously it's not a good site, but behind that trash can and that white building ahead of us right there, actually I was an extra there when they were filming that movie with Woody Harrelson, that basketball movie with Will Ferrell about the 1970s ABA teams. And they actually shot the film in that armory. They decorated the armory. Well, it did have a basketball court inside. They just redecorated the arena, and we filmed there for a couple of days. And actually, I was able to get a slot on the film while I was in film school. And so as we're getting closer, you can make out in the distance some vehicles up front, and this fire and medical people out there. I'll go ahead and pick this video up as I get closer to the actual training, the training facility and the testing site. Quick FYI, just for the sake of filming purposes, I am pausing the recording, but every little while I have to unpause it to start the recording, or else it will finish the recording. I'm trying to do this in stages. But as you can see here, I got a little bit closer, and that's the Armory building. It does look like the facilities where you see the tree popping out behind the vehicle in front of me. On your corner left, looks like there's possibly tents, or the facility, the testing site is actually past that point. And as you can see, we can't see that at this point. But I'll go ahead and resume the video vlog once I get a little bit closer. Actually, I just noticed these tents here, which are normally aren't there. That's something I just noticed. Obviously, I was trying to film the building. I don't know if those are isolation tents. It looks more of a structured building, but as I get closer, I do realize they are tents. I don't know exactly what that's for. I think part of the conspiracy theorist in me is always skeptical about these mass testing sites and the FEMA camp looking facilities, but in my situation with my immune system compromised, I didn't want to risk it. For me, it's a lot of anxiety thinking about my kidney situation, my dialysis, as well as being that I would probably be one of those candidates that would fall into that criteria of highly volatile